What is going on YouTube? Justin Dez here, and I'm just going to break down the college football 25 news, etc. I kind of waited just because a lot of stuff went down. I think I'm going to make another video to break down archetypes because I feel like that interests me the most, and kind of I can really deep dive into that. I'm not going to show the gameplay. I'm not a big enough YouTuber, I don't think, to show it. But if you want to see it, the gameplay breakdown with Kirk Herbstreit, I will have the link in the description of this video so you can watch it. But other than that, I'm just going to show like quick overviews of some of the game modes, some of the stuff that I just enjoyed overall. And there's a bunch of, I think it's like a 30-40 page article just breaking it all down. So yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's get into it. So Road to Glory overview. So the game mode is only going to be, according to EA, 10 to 20 hours long. You only get 5 years of college football, so red shirt, so there's not going to be like 6-7 year seniors, whatnot. You no longer start in high school. Instead, you pick your level as a recruit at the beginning to determine how hard you grind, and you will be getting playing time. So 5 stars will start out at 79 overall, 4 stars 75, 3 stars 70, and 2 stars 65 overall. And basically, it's like if you choose to be a 2-star, you'll have to really spend a lot of time in practice before you get on the field. If you're a 5-star, you'll have to win position battle more than in a bit to get to a starting point. I'm curious if this is kind of also just goes in dynasty mode as well, like 5 stars, you're a 79 overall or and above. I'm curious if recruiting, if there's going to be like some 90 overalls. I highly doubt it, but I wish I played College Football Revamp, because one of the things I liked was that they didn't just have like, oh, the highest guy was like an 85 overall. There were some recruits that were 90, 95 overall, and it was like, oh, like these guys are once in a generation guys. But I assume this is kind of like the basis, like 79 and above is going to be the 30, like the 5 stars, and 75 roughly will be the 4 stars, and yada yada yada. Some people were mad about not starting at high school. I get it in a sense, because you kind of want to, see the schools that offer you scholarships and whatnot. I get that, but like, I didn't like doing an entire season, because after a while it was a grind. I liked older, like I believe like NCAA 09, you started at the high school playoffs. Like if you're gonna bring the high school mode back, do it where you start at the playoffs, so it's not as many games. Because I know NCAA 14 you could do regular season and playoffs, and it was just a grind. So dynasty mode notes, you only get a 30-year cap compared to NCAA 14. You could play 60 years, and the online dynasty could be up to 32 users, so which makes sense in a sense. Would have been cool to do all of the college football teams, yeah, but 32 is fun. Custom conferences, you can restore the Pac-12 again. Basically, that's just how their way of being like, yeah, that's what you can do with custom conferences. You could just be like, boom, you can restore the Pac-12 again. Conference championship games will be at top ranked home stadium, no neutral field. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it kind of stinks because like no, the SEC championship's not going to be in Atlanta, and the Big 12 championship isn't going to be in Jerry's World, which stinks a lot. But it is what it is. I think the Pac-12 championship was an NCAA 14, so it's kind of like that. Custom schedules is back. Week 0 is in the game. No neutral site game, so you can't do like you can't do like the Chick-fil-A kickoff game in Atlanta, Georgia. And I believe you can't do the Ireland game as well. And then I also read, and I didn't put it on the notes here, that like you see the matchups where it's like, I know Miami and Alabama are going to be scheduling like 2 games in like 2030. They're like, yeah, those games will show up. So I do like that, kind of keep it realistic. Team Builder is back. Not much besides, I think, the first week of July is potentially, or the first week of when the game drops in July is when the Team Builder Online is going to go up. Other than that, I don't really know. Can hire and fire own coordinators. Coordinators will have separate skill trees. I like this. I like this a lot. You know, in NCAA 14, you couldn't really do that. And to me, as someone who wants to create storylines, you know, you can fire coordinators, be like, oh, you know, we're struggling on offense. All right, we'll fire this offensive coordinator. But then I think you can also poach coordinators from schools, and they have their own specific type of skill trees and whatnot. Like you could just have like let's say your offensive coordinator is just really good at recruiting. He has that. Or if you're a head coach and you're more of a, hey, I'm a recruiter, like this is what I do, that's my skill tree. You hire offensive coordinator, that's kind of the, I don't want to say like Chip Kelly, but basically like the brains. So it's not like you're going to have a well-rounded coach. Like you can pick recruiters, offensive mind, or just like something like that. But basically it's like 3 different types of traits, and you're not going to be well-rounded. And basically the article that I read from Matt Brown was like, hey, even Nick Saban wasn't like that. So like you're going to pick that, but then, you know, it's also good because coordinators can help fill that out as well. Recruiting. So there's going to be 4,000 prospects. 32 will be earning the 5-star status. Pitch grades also return, with 14 in many recruits. There will be deal breakers, where they won't even consider your school if you don't meet the required grade in certain areas. So I'm just thinking with Utah State, like they probably won't even consider us if they're like, hey, you know, you're not in a big conference. The 5 stars aren't even going to look at Utah State, because it's like, hey, kind of prestige. They're like, no, you're not a Power 5, so I'm not even going to look at you. Athletes are back and can play 2 or 3 positions. Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And it kind of makes sense with Travis Hunter being on the cover as well. But I also know that's more likely in college as well. You will have weekly hours to recruit high school players in and off season, and the transfer portal will kind of be a part of the off season. So this is what I like, is the weekly hours where you're on the phone. I know NCAA 13 had that, and older versions where you have a certain amount of hours, I believe like 60 hours it was in NCAA 13, to call prospects and be like, okay, here's this, and this. I don't know if they're going to compare it to the other schools, like, hey, this is a positive or negative or vice versa. But either way, you can do that. I assume that's what they're also going to do with the transfer portal. And I also like that if you've recruited them out of high school and they're in the transfer portal, they'll remember, be like, oh yeah, I remember when you recruited me. That might be an advantage for you. And I also like that there's only certain spots for transfer portal guys. So it's kind of like you have to decide every year, hey, do I just want to go after high schoolers or transfer portal? The game's not going to let you be like, all right, I want to do both, which I really, really enjoy. And then you will have to build up pitch grades to get the 4 or 5 stars. So with my YouTube series, we're going to have to work up our pitch grades for Utah State to get the 4 to 5 stars to come to Logan, Utah. So the next is a screenshot of the archetypes. Again, I will probably break this down a little bit more, but they're not doing no X Factor. I'm very happy that there's no X Factor. I would have not been mad at it, but I kind of was very glad because I did a video where I said I think superstars could be the highest and X Factors wouldn't be the best thing for it. But so basically, no matter what, I don't know if every recruit will get this, but let's say a guy like a Travis Hunter, one of the best players in college football, will have 5 physical archetypes and 3 mental. As you can see, the mentals include some fan favorites: best friend, clear head, his physical, sure hands, 50-50, double dip, layout, and recoup. The recoup could help with his fatigue and potentially the wear and tear part of it. And then as you can see, his best friends, QB composes on the game, on first down catch, like that could be very helpful for not just a freshman quarterback, but let's just say like a senior quarterback as well. Increased composure gains at home. So it's very, I think it's interesting, and the next part will explain it a lot more. So here's kind of the screenshot of some of the other ones. So like you see, I know it's not the best screenshot, so I apologize, but ball hawk, that could be for your secondary, deep range, fan favorite, hammer, headstrong, which I like, intimidator, jackpot, focused kicker, field general for quarterback, quick step, rally D-line, rally O-line, recoup, resistance, rhythm, road dog, robbery, 3, all these. So obviously I like that they all, like even focus kicker, like they even have archetypes for kickers. So I respect that a lot. So the abilities. So kind of like 2K, it's 4 levels of the archetypes. So workhorse. Bronze, it slightly protects from wear and tear. Silver, moderate protect. Gold, significant. Platinum, ultimate. Boom. Downhill, slightly moderate, significant, ultimate. And then option king, slightly, because I did read you could do quick pitches. Depending on how you hold the button and whatnot, it helps with strong pitches. But then, like field general, can identify blitzers post snap. Silver, you can do pre. Gold, you can do coverage, shell, and pre-snap. And then platinum, basically you can see disguise coverages and whatnot. So that would be huge. And I like that they kind of do physical and mental all at the same time, because it is kind of like that, mental and physical. And I don't know if you can upgrade the badges like in 2K, like, oh, if, you know, training in the off season, my freshman quarterback who has bronze can get a silver. I don't know that. I think it should, but who knows? But I mean, this is going to be interesting. Like, do some of the 2-3 star recruits, do they get the abilities, or it's just all the 4 or 5 stars? I don't know. But to me, this is exciting. I like the archetype. I kind of like that it's kind of like the 2K badges, where it's different levels to it, not just, hey, you have it. And here's kind of a screenshot of what the archetypes look like. As you can see, I forget Oklahoma State's running back off the top of my head. He has it. You can kind of see all of the archetypes, the quarterback. So kind of showing it what it looks like and whatnot. So then the wear and tear kind of brought it up, and it's not the same as I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It's not the same as fatigue. There's still going to be fatigue in the game, but wear and tear, I think hopefully it does well. So severe, high, and slight, as you can see with some of these guys, severe in the chest area. And obviously, you know, at halftime, timeouts, and in between weeks of games, guys will recoup. But like Quentin Ewers, let's say he gets hit in the arm, you can kind of see in game it kind of affects him. Maybe his deep ball accuracy, deep throw power is not as good as it was before it hit. And or let's say with the running back from Clemson, you know, if he's carrying the ball 20 times a game, it's going to affect him. So I like that. This is going to make you work or strategize to get more depth guys. Like the number 2, number 3 running backs are more important now. The number 4, number 5 wide receivers are more important now. Potentially defensive linemen, like rotating your defensive line, maybe rotating your corners a little bit will be huge with this wear and tear. And the abilities also help, like recoup, so you can recoup quicker. So just keeping that in mind. So that is going to wrap up this kind of recap video. Again, I will probably do archetype breakdown more if you want, or if you want me to do more of a dynasty breakdown mode, let me know in the comments. And until next video, you guys have a good one. Peace.